Right. And then it might become available to you to soften your eyes or just take the eyes down to a steady point. And then from here, begin to transition awareness towards our physical body. Taking time to sense your physical body. Notice how it might be connecting down to the planet, down to the ground. And then, as if this were an anchor, keeping you grounded and steady, begin to lengthen and expand along your spine, maybe sitting up a little bit taller, lifting through the crown of the head and softening the shoulders. Maintaining groundedness and stability through the base of the spine, but also lifting up to opportunity and consciousness. And as we stabilize in our body, I'll invite us to move awareness to our mental mind and just observing how we are showing up. Begin to acknowledge any patterns of thought or action in your mind. And along with acknowledgement, we might be able to soften the parameters around these thoughts, simply letting them be part of this experience of mindfulness. Begin to move your awareness to your breath, offering awareness to the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. And gradually start to deepen and expand your breath, letting it fill up through the torso, through the spine, perhaps reaching any places of tenderness or tightness in your body, and then relaxing the edges around the body, softening the eyebrows, the eyes, the face. And let's just invite some gentle movement with the flow and the pace of our breath. Inhale and start reaching your arms forward and up. And then as you exhale, float the hands down in front of you with your palms down, like you're raining a shower over your body. And then inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, float the hands down in front of your body. Twice more with your breath. You might tilt your pelvis forward and back with this action. One more. And then put your hands on your knees and find the seated cat-cow shape. We're going to tilt our pelvis forward, lift through the chest, and roll our shoulders back. And then exhale, round the spine, tuck your chin, separate the shoulder blades. Inhale forward. Exhale backward. A few times. Maintaining stability in the base of the spine. And then arriving in neutral, inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, twist, left hand to the right knee. Right arm reaches back. Inhale, lengthen the body. And then exhale into the twist. Soften any places that might be harboring tension. One more breath. Pushing the sit bones into the floor, lifting up through the spine. Inhale, arms return to center. Exhale, switch, right hand, left knee. Left arm extends backward. 2 breaths. Inhale, arms return through center. Bend the elbows, open the mouth. One more. HA. Arms overhead, and then exhale, fold forward out in front of you. Take your time, hinging your hips, perhaps lengthening the back of the body. Just taking a moment here, creating an intention or an idea you'd like to harness to invite into your well-being and into your life. And as you're ready, return the hands back to your legs, lifting your torso. And then making your way onto table. Take your time. You can always stack a blanket under the knees for additional support. And if you have blocks today, I'll invite you to take them forward. And then start to push evenly through your hands and through your knees, stacking your shoulders the best you can over your elbows. And then imagine squeezing a block in between your thighs, engaging all the muscles around your hip bones, your pelvis. And then we'll find a cat-cow shape again, just moving through the spine, lifting the torso, lifting the top of the head, and rounding the spine, separating the shoulder blades. Inhale forward, exhale backward. And then arrive in table, extend the left leg back and the right arm forward, finding strength and stability through the left hand. Inhale. Press the left heel back towards the back of the room. Point your toes down. Bend your left knee. Exhale, draw your left knee forward to your nose. Keep your right arm reaching forward. Inhale, extend the left leg back. Lift the chest. One more time. Reaching through the right arm, maintaining strength. And then return to table. Inhale, left arm forward, right leg back. Finding balance through your hips, through your shoulders. Point your right toes down. Bend your knee. And then exhale, draw the knee in towards your chest. Keep reaching the left arm forward. Inhale, reach the right leg back. One more time. And then return to table. Walk your hands forward. Begin to prep for downward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees. Lift your hips up and back. Start to take weight through the outer edges of your hands and even your feet. Take one breath here. And then inhale, lower your knees. Exhale, child's pose. Bending your hips back towards your heels, let your arms rest wherever's comfortable. And then we're gonna flow here. Inhale, table. Shoulders over wrists. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips lift. Inhale, lower the knees. Exhale, child's pose, wisdom pose. Hips return back towards the heels. Inhale, forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, pushing into the earth, feeling a triangle shape in your body. And inhale, table. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come forward. Downward facing dog, and hold here. Maybe remove that blanket if you had it in front of you. Inhale, lift your heels high, bend your knees, walk forward. Push into the blocks, extend the spine halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Twice more, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow forward. One more time. This time grounding through the feet, reach your arms out to the T, engage the core, lift all the way up, reaching the arms over the head and down towards your torso, your chest. Pause here. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Reach the feet back, stack your shoulders over your wrists. And then leading the hip joints up, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Again, pointing the toes down, evenly pressing through your hands. And filling up the space between your shoulder blades. Exhale, right leg returns back to the floor. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, release. Lift your heels high, bend your knees, look forward and walk forward. Inhale, hands to the blocks. Exhale, left leg steps back. Bend your right knee, reach the blocks over your head. Exhale, blocks return down to the floor. And then inhale, arms lift. Pivot to your left heel down, spinning the left foot back, and reach your arms open to a T, finding warrior two. Bend into your front knee. Inhale, reach your arms above your head. Exhale, extend. Do that twice more. One more. This time, arms lift and lengthen the right leg. Exhale, bend into the right knee, pivot the hands, lift your back heel. Pause here. Notice how you might soften any extra effort around the thighs, in the hands or the arms. Lower the left knee. Inhale, lengthen your front leg. Keep your toes down on the floor if you want, or some of us might lift the right toes. You can choose. And then inhale, bending back into your right knee, guiding your support forward. Putting your hands on the floor, lift your left leg and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale here, exhale. Inhale to table, lower your knees down, bend into your elbows and lower all the way to the floor. And we'll do a little bit of work for the chest. So let's first think about drawing the lower ribs down towards the belly. Press the tops of the legs into the floor, and then put your hands by your ribs. We're really going to work the back, the upper back. So the hands shouldn't do too much work. Use the strength of your back to lift your chest forward. And then return to the mat. Forearms come down, find Sphinx. Spread your palms, separate your fingers. And then roll the shoulders back. Maybe lift your head. And then release. Hands by your ribs, tuck the navel inward and press up to plank or table, you choose. And then downward facing dog when you're ready. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, walk forward. Hands to the blocks, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. Pushing into the floor, reach the arms over your head. And then exhale, back down to the mat. Let your arms open, hinging the hips forward and down. Step your right leg back. Inhale, blocks over your head, high crescent lunge. Exhale, blocks to the floor. This time, inhale, arms lift, stable in that left hip. And then warrior two, pivoting the right heel down, cartwheeling your arms open and sending your rib cage over your hips. Inhale, arms over your head, lengthen sides of the waist. Exhale, extend the arms back out in front of you. 2 more times. This time, left leg extends, arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, warrior two, cartwheel your hands back down, pivot the right heel high, and adjust. So we're in this slow runner's lunge. Lower your right knee to the floor, and then inhale, lengthen the left leg. Choose if you want your toes connected down or lifted up towards the ceiling. And just see how that might feel different in this side of the body. And then bending back into the left knee, taking the support forward. We're gonna put our hands on the floor, lift the back leg, this time step to plank. Lower your knees and shift the hips back to the heels, child's pose, wisdom pose. And just taking the time to check back in with what is true for you today. Drawing awareness back to sensations in our physical body. And drawing attention back to the fluctuations in our mental mind. Extend your arms forward if they're not already there, and just slightly push into the mat. Maybe lift your torso a couple inches, and then lift your hips a little. We're going to slide our body forward all the way onto our stomach. So I'm just really rolling my shoulders back, lowering my chest towards the mat, and then coming all the way down. Take a moment with your forehead on your hands, bend your knees, and sway your feet side to side. And release. Forearms are stacking on the mat, Sphinx pose. Spread your fingers and then push your elbows into the floor. Tuck your chin down towards your sternum and slightly back towards your neck. And then release the body all the way back down. Take a moment of pause. And in your own way, in your own time, we'll come back to a downward facing dog. However you want to get there, taking any movements in between. Good. Returning to this idea of stability and connection to the ground. Notice all the places of your body that are connecting to the ground. Walking your feet slightly closer together, inhale, right leg lifts, pointing the toes down, extending the heel back. Exhale, draw the right knee forward. Inhale, extend the right leg back. This time, knee draws forward. Take your time, plant the right foot. Grab hold of your blocks. And when you're stable, we're going to come up, reaching the blocks over the head. High crescent lunge. And then notice if your arms are really squeezing into your neck and your ears. See how you can soften around that area. And then extend the blocks out to a T. Reach the arms over the head. And then exhale, blocks return down in front of you. Pause. Keep the left hand on the block and reach the right arm back towards your hip. You can stay here or find a little bit more of a twist and take the hand up towards the ceiling. And then return everything back down. Step the back leg forward. Inhale, halfway rise, lengthen through the back. Exhale, fold. Take a few breaths in the forward fold. Maybe the arms reach behind you, interlacing the fingers. Or any variation that feels nurturing and accessible today. Release your hands back down to the blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Reach the blocks off to the sides of your mat. So arms are out like a T. And then keeping stability and strength in your legs, lift all the way up. Reach the blocks over the head. And relax, arms by your sides. And we'll find a little bit of standing balance. Our right foot is connected into the mat. And then just begin to take the left heel, maybe to the calf or the ankle, keeping hold of these blocks, letting the arms stay long. And then gradually, when you feel stable, take the foot to a place that feels stable. And maybe when you're ready, arms reach over your head. Take a breath in, notice what it feels like to breathe right here. And then return the arms by your sides and unwind the shape. Return your left foot down and just pause. Bend your knees, replace the blocks on the floor, plant your hands, and step back to plank. Optional to take a vinyasa, moving down to the mat and finding a cobra shape. I'll meet you in downward dog, so take a moment. And in downward dog, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, draw the left knee towards the nose, taking shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, extend the left leg back. This time, planting the foot forward, grabbing hold of the blocks, and reaching the blocks over the head. Embracing the shake, noticing any heat in the body. And then return the blocks down. Keep the right hand on the block and take the left arm back to the hip. You can stay or reach the left arm higher towards the ceiling. And then unravel the shape and step your back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Grabbing hold of the blocks, inhale all the way up, reaching the arms over the head, and then release. Adjust your position, and then take weight in your left foot. And the right heel will come to maybe the ankle or the calf. And gradually, when you feel stable, lift the foot to a place that you can maintain. Focus your eyes on a point in front of you, and then maybe reach your arms over your head. Return the arms back down and the right foot to the floor. Bend your knees, return the blocks to the mat, plant the hands, then walk back to plank. Lower your knees, and then we'll come sit back on our heels for a moment. So you're welcome to take blocks in between your ankles or a blanket behind your legs. And let's just recalibrate here. Feeling into the increased heart rate. Reconnecting to the pattern of our breath. And then aligning the spine, reaching through your vertebrae and through the top of the head. And then you might start to open your eyes, just reorient to the room you're in. Notice any lights, any sounds. And shifting off of your support, let's go ahead and take a seat. And we'll find a very passive butterfly or supta or Baddha Konasana shape. So your feet together and your knees wide. And I'm going to support the outer legs with a block. Then if you have a blanket or a bolster handy, you can fold forward onto that. Or you can simply stay and just gradually notice what it feels like to fold forward. Maybe support your head in your hands. And really just begin to send attention to the back of our body. All along the back of the body. Soften the shoulders, the tissues around the vertebrae. Relax your rib cage and your waist, the lower back, the hips, all the way down your legs. Let's just begin to invite a sense of stillness to these places. And we'll spend 5 breaths here, following the length all the way to the top of the inhale and all the way to the bottom of the exhale. And taking your time, moving slowly, begin to lift the torso, reaching through the top of the head, and then guide your knees back together. So however that looks for you. Remove your. Let's bend our knees and take our hands behind us. Push the hands into the floor and lift through the sternum. And then come aware of the rib cage and draw the rib cage just deeper into the back of the body. And then one time here, inhale and exhale. This time push into the floor with your feet and lift your hips up. And return the body gently back down. Let's go ahead and come, let's see, onto our torso, onto our belly. Take a blanket forward for your head or your neck. And we'll go ahead and come into that arm stretch that I think we could all use. We'll reach our left arm off to the side, pointing the palm down, and then gently twisting the body over to the left shoulder just until we feel some slight sensation. And then relax the head. You can bend your knees and draw them in towards your torso, or you can take this into more of a twisting shape and take the top leg up behind the left leg. Take some time, check back in with your intention, the quality that you are harnessing today in your practice. And then take some time to offer yourself the freedom of letting go of what no longer serves that intention. Spend 3 more breaths here. Begin to make your way back even onto the mat. Find a moment of pause. And then begin to set up for the right side. So our right arm reaches out. And then gradually shift your weight over to the right shoulder. And this side might look different than the other, and that's totally fine. Begin to transition attention back to the senses around you, noticing maybe any sounds or the feeling of the floor on your body. Three more steady, full breaths. Beginning to unwind the shape, coming back even. And then beginning to push into the floor and sit your body back up. Maybe find a cat cow in between or shift the body back to a child's pose. And then start to make your way onto your back. And on your back, begin to guide your knees in towards your chest. And let the back plane of your body press gently into the floor. You might rock side to side, forward and back. And then we will release the feet down to the floor and reach for a block. Coming into a supported bridge, pushing the heels into the floor, lifting the sacrum, and then sliding a block beneath that sacrum. From here, relax the back. Perhaps let your palms flip towards the ceiling, rotating the shoulders. And trusting in the messages of your body today. Maybe choose to extend your legs out in front of you. It's quite a lot on your hips, so be gentle and return back whenever you like. These moments of stillness are supplemental and imperative to our yang-like active lifestyle. With all the commotion happening around us, these moments of stillness are pathways to meditation and a deeper awareness of self. Staying here in this outstretched shape for really as long as you like. I'm going to go ahead and begin to take my feet back under my knees and spend a few breaths here. And then we'll all begin to walk the feet back in flat on the floor and gently lift off of the support, returning our spine back down to the mat. Recognizing what neutral feels like in your body. And then arriving with the knees in towards the chest, we'll find a happy baby. Reaching the feet up and bending the knees to the outer edges of our ribs. Doesn't matter what it looks like. And then maybe sway, lengthening one leg off to the sides and then the other. And then arriving in a place to stay for 2 or 3 breaths. Release the feet to the floor. Inhale, extend your arms over your head, lengthening through the sides of your waist. And then return the arms back down and set up for your final rest of Shavasana. Taking time to invite in support, really get comfortable. And as you're here, begin to evenly place your body on the mat. Relax any tension throughout your forehead and along the temples. Soften the corners of the eyes, the cheeks, the mouth, and the jaw. Sending attention and softness down the neck, along both shoulders, down your arms, through the hands and to the fingertips. And letting this quality of softness move down the torso, the rib cage, the abdomen, the pelvis, hip joints, the upper thighs, the knees and the shins, the whole body soft, down to the ankles and out through the soles of the feet. Soft body here. Just allow your breath to be natural and your mind to do whatever it wants. Simply observing and resting. Begin to draw attention back to the whole body, the front of the body, the sides of the body, and the back of the body. Return your awareness and energy to the quality of your breath, recognizing how the breath feels throughout your torso. And then lastly, arrive back to the intention that you created for your practice and allow this intention to be with your entire body and mind. And slowly, at your own time, I'll invite you to reawaken, moving throughout your fingers and your toes, and perhaps shifting the body. And then begin to roll onto your side and eventually arrive back seated at the top of your mat. And here, in this moment, begin to offer up gratitude for this chance of presence and this chance to be mindful. And notice how your experience might have changed from before class. And also hold the space for the places that still feel the same in your mind and even in your body. And acknowledge that that is the practice. Go ahead and bring your hands towards the center of your chest. And I'll take this time to thank you for sharing the practice with us today through the computer and acknowledging that this energy is still shared between us. I hope you have a wonderful start to your weekend. Thank you. The light in me greets the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste. Ah, that was lovely. Thank you.